What is up, everyone? Welcome back to your daily dose of Heroes of the Storm. My name is Saren Death, and today we are playing Muradin. Let's get into a game.
Ready for action!
Alright, after a very quick queue time, we are in Battlefield of Eternity. My team, Artanis, Abathur, Muradin, Kael'thas, Jaina. Enemy team, Cho'Gall, Nova, Muradin, and Sonya. Okay, so judging by the enemy's team, they're going to have a lot of auto attacks going out there, obviously with Cho being the big one. So we're going to be trying to look to minimize the amount of damage we can deal, as well as Sonya as well. So with that, we're going to be probably going with a attack speed slowing style build today, very tanky. So with that, we're going to be taking Reverberation as our first talent. Enemies hit by our Thunderclap, we're going to have their attack speed reduced by 50% for 3 seconds. This should minimize the amount of damage that Cho will be able to put out. We can't really minimize Gall's damage as much, but we're going to do what we can. Okay, our abilities really quick. Q is called Stormbolt. This is a skill shot that is going to deal some damage and stun the first thing it comes into contact with. This can be a minion, a mercenary, or an enemy hero. Now you can't obviously stun structures, but you still deal damage to them. W is called Thunderclap. This is going to deal some damage in an area around us and slow enemies by 25% for 2.5 seconds. And that is going to also reduce their attack speed. Now this is most of his abilities are kind of expensive, so you don't really want to spam these too much in lane. Just want to kind of... Alright, we're going to slam down. She's slow. And we're going to hit her with stun. So she's going to take extra damage there. Okay, our E is called Dwarf Toss. Now, you can see the little circles around us. Basically what this ability allows us to do is we can jump out of the way of attacks. Oh, we're going to miss her with that one. We're going to jump out of the way of attacks. It's a very interesting ability because when you land, you deal some damage to enemies you land on. But the big thing here is you don't really want to use this to engage as much unless you're guaranteed to get a kill out of it. Alright, got her again. Basically like that. Really, you want to be using this thing to disengage. You want to get into fight the enemy, and then whenever they jump in on you, you want to just bounce. Or if you need to, you can just bounce. This can also give you some really great ability to position yourselves a little bit better. So if you're in like an awkward position, you can actually jump out and then reposition yourself and do what needs to be done. Okay, now our trait is called Second Wind. Basically what this is going to do is whenever we are out of combat and below 40% life, we're going to basically regenerate a bunch of life. And that's kind of the idea. We're going to be able to... Just going to slow him down. And that's a dead Cho'Gall. No, we're going to miss that one. So you can see we're dropping down a little lower, so we're just going to move out and be good to go. Okay, so this talent here, we are going to be taking... Now we have a few options here. We could have gone with a very... We could have gone with a different build. Oh, we just stacked our CCs. Okay, we're gonna be taking... Where is it at? Thunderburn. What this is going to do is, whenever Thunderclap goes off, it's going to trigger again a few seconds later and activate one more time. This is going to reduce the enemy's attack speed by a significant amount, and it can actually reduce their speed as well. Give us a lot of options. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tap as well. Taking advantage of our team's strengths here. Oh no! I got caught in that. Alright, so they are... We need to defend ours. We're just going to go in here. Slow him down a bit. Okay. We are going to win. Alright. Backing out. And then we're going to go down to the bottom lane. So you have a few options here when you get your immortal. You can either push with the immortal or push in the opposite lane as the immortal. Now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to push with our immortal. We're not going to get much done. We got the immortal, but most of us backed out. We're going to slow him and then stun him inside the blizzard, and then he's going to take damage from that as well. Alright. Okay, so like I said, we didn't really get too much done with that. So we're just going to go back completely, and when we come back out, we should be full life and ready to lane once again. And we are ahead, but we're not that far ahead. Okay, so this talent here, we're going to go with Piercing Bolt. What this is going to do is this is going to allow us to stun 2 people with our Q. So it's going to pass by the first person, stun them, and then hit an additional target right behind them. It's going to give us a lot of extra CC. She continues to chase. We're going to jump in front of her, body block her. Alright, we're not going to get her down. We're going to take a bunch of tower shots, though. Alright, so I didn't really go over Second Wind all that much. Basically, what this does is whenever we are out of combat for 4 seconds and below 40% life, we're going to get a bunch of regen. Alright, so Cho'Gall is going to take that one down there. That's likely what just happened. We're just going to poke her and go ahead and just take this structure down. We should back away. Alright. We're still in a good position. Alright. I'm going to move into defend ours. Just going to give our team a little bit more time. I think we deal more damage than them. If we're all here, we do. Alright, nice kill. Okay, so we're about 50% on both sides. We're going to need to fight this. We are ahead, but not by much. We just stacked our stuns. Once again, I'm just going to try and peel here. Need to back out. Get the stun off, and we're just going to go ahead and retreat. Alright, I need to heal up. I'm just going to tap. Now, I'm just going to hold off. Excellent. Okay, this down here we're taking Avatar. Now Avatar, what this does is we can activate this, and basically we get a bunch of extra health, and our auto attacks cause the enemy to be stunned. Alright, nice work. Let's go ahead and let's get this immortal. So Avatar is a fantastic sort of tanking tool. You get a ton of extra health, and then on top of that, your auto attacks are going to stun the enemies. Every single auto attack is going to stun them and hopefully be able to lock them down and allow your team to get some extra damage out on them. Or at least prevent them from dealing extra damage to you. Apply Peel. This is why I like Muradin so much. He has probably some of the best just sort of CC in the game. Alright. Just straight hit-based CC. Alright, so once again, we're not going to get much done with this. We are really, really bad at capitalizing on this stuff. Okay, so we did get a fort down. Oh. Alright, I don't think we're going to get much more done. Nope. I'm very low on mana. I'll take a tower shot or two. Jump out of that. And time to run. So you'll see me start healing up there. There we go. That's our second wind ticking out. I do have to leave. Alright. So second wind, what this really allows you to do is it allows you to just back out for a few and then you can re-engage. Yep, we're all retreating. This is smart. Okay, we can take an objective. You can build Muradin to be a pretty decent at taking camps down. You just have to build them a specific way. Unfortunately, I did not build that way. I'm built very specifically to counter Cho'Gall and Sonya. Coming up here as well. Cho'Gall may have seen me. If he did, he is not showing it. Alright, we're just going to stun these guys. One thing you will find with Muradin is that he is very mana hungry. A lot of his abilities are very expensive. Okay, at this time tier, we are going to we have a few more options here. Another series of multiple options in healing. I totally whiffed that. Okay, so we have the option where we can deal extra damage to a single target with our W. And it's going to deal 300% more damage, which would be fantastic when we duel Cho'Gall. So we're actually going to be taking that. Another thing you pick is Burning Rage, and then obviously the Spell Shield is a fantastic talent as well. We're not really fighting any big-time damage dealers that I'm that worried about as far as abilities are concerned. All right, we're gonna go through. We're just gonna try and slow these guys down a little bit. You can see that this is dealing a ton of damage. We're gonna go ahead and pop our avatar now. Alright, we're gonna let the Cho'Gall run. Oh no, he's gonna get away. Alright, we're just gonna let them run. Alright. Too many people got away. Too many people got away. I'm going to head down here just to make sure that they are not attacking ours as well. And they are. Alright, we're just going to keep slowing them down. We're going to do everything we can just to reduce the amount of damage that they are going to be able to deal to our immortal. Alright, we need to back out of this. Okay, and we managed to get it. Alright, so I did everything I could to stall right there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to tap, and we're going to go up here, and we're going to push with our immortal. Okay. So with the auto attack slowing, we prevented Sonya from dealing too much damage to ours. Basically, that's what we were doing. We were just trying to reduce everything that they could do. Put him down. Alright, we're gonna play heal. I'm gonna defend our casters right now. Keep an eye out for the blur. Alright, she's slowed. Alright, Avatar is back off the cooldown. We can pop this when we want. Here we go. We're going to pop this now. Alright, I'm stunned. Alright, we're in a bad spot. Alright, this down here we are taking Stone Form. Stone Form, what this is going to do is it's going to be an activatable that is going to allow us to heal 50% of our life over a few seconds. An absolutely massive defensive ability. Oh no, it's so close to death, but I have no mana. It's unfortunate. So unfortunate. Okay, so like I said, Stone Form, absolutely fantastic ability. 50% of our maximum health over 8 seconds. Okay, I can help you take this. Slow these guys' attack speed down. Gonna get this no problem at all. Alright, we definitely need some mana, so that way for the next fight, we're gonna be able to have plenty of mana for it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go back. They can take that, no problem. So yeah, Stone Form, absolutely massive amount of healing. My recommendation is if you just got out of a fight, let your second wind activate and do its thing before you pop the stone form. Because it will knock out the second wind. You will not be able to use it then. And it is a 60-second cooldown as well. So pretty much once per fight you'll have it. Alright, they're going to be able to get him, or at least they should. There it is. And I'm just going to take this camp then as well. Alright. I'll take this down. May not have been the best call to go ahead and worry about that, but that's alright. Okay, I think Cho'Gall should be our primary focus. Then back out.
Let's get
Alright, keeping him stunned, keeping him slowed. Look at all that damage on him. These slows are absolutely amazing. Alright, she's going to get away. We need to focus up now and get on our immortal. Cho'Gall is down for 30 more seconds. That is 2 people down. That's why I said that he should be our primary focus. With him down, they really don't have much to counter us. We have way more damage than they do. If we play our cards right, we should be able to get... Keeping my eye out here for the Nova. We should be able to get 2 keeps out of this push. Alright, Cho'Gall is down for another 4 seconds. We can still see the Sonya's in lane. I'm going to back out of that. Keep my eyes peeled to the mini-map. Alright, make sure she goes down. Alright, fantastic. And we have a maximum health immortal. So like I said, if we play our cards right, we should be able to get 2 keeps out of this. Keep away from that Cho'Gall. I want to take that damage. Alright. So, we already have the towers are down out here. This could be a push in for the win. That we missed. Alright, we're going to protect our back line as much as we can here. We did end up going down there. Okay, so this talent here, we have a few options we can go with. We can go with... Oh man, I hope he can get away. Oh, you shouldn't have turned around. No! Oh man, he could have gotten away. I don't know why he turned around. Okay, so we have basically all 3 of these options are fantastic options. We can go with Hardened Shield, which is going to activate and reduce the damage we take by 75%. This is fantastic because Cho'Gall does a massive amount of damage, and he can really, really put a hurting on us. It might not even matter. No, it's not even going to matter. Okay. Well, that's GG. That's GG. I'll go over the 20 talents in just a second once we get out of the loading screen, and I can show you guys what's going on with the stats and all that stuff. We can go over the build one more time, and I can cover some of the stuff that I kind of skimmed over while we played. So here we go. Here are the stats. Alright, so Muradin, I died once at the very, very end. He is a very beefy tank, but he can also put some punishment out there. You see that 36k hero damage. Now, I did zone out quite a bit, zone the enemy out a lot, and that means I was focusing on them instead of focusing on the immortal. But you can also build him for damage too. Now, if the enemy had something slightly different, like a different comp, I may have gone with that. But to counter the Cho'Gall, and the Sonya, we went a very defensive W build. We built up our Thunderclap. So here are the talents we went with today. We went with Reverberation at level 1, basically reducing the enemy's attack speed by 50% for 3 seconds whenever they get hit by our Thunderclap. Not only that, but they're slowed. So now their attack speeds are slow, and they're slow, and you saw how many times that actually helped us out and was very beneficial. So keep that in mind. You really want to try and combo these abilities together, and it'll help you take enemies down, or at least have a follow-up. We took Thunderburn at level 4. This basically just means that whenever we Thunderclap, there's going to be a secondary clap 2 seconds later that is going to apply Thunderclap as well. So it's going to be increased slow, and it's going to also slow their attacks. So basically, if Cho'Gall decided that he was going to sit there and fight us, he was going to get stuck in that, and his auto attacks were going to be incredibly slow then. That was the whole point behind it, is if he really wanted to engage with us, we could engage with Cho'Gall. That was the whole point behind that. At 7, we took Piercing Bolt. This was strictly because you can hit one additional target in that line. Lots more CC, allowed us to get a couple kills out there, or at least minimize damage, especially when I was trying to defend our Immortal and trying to reduce the amount of damage that Muradin and Sonya were doing to it that one time. I was able to stun them both, slow them both. That was the whole point behind that as well. That way we can minimize their damage and keep them stunned and CC'd for longer. Or more often, or more of them is what I'm trying to say. At 10, we took Avatar. Haymaker's fine if you can learn to play with it, but I'm just not a fan of it. I prefer Avatar. You get 20 seconds of more health, and your basic attacks are going to stun the enemy. It's hard to beat that. You basically become a walking, living statue. You're a super tank at that point in time, and probably one of the best CC heroics in the game, just because every basic attack is going to stun the enemy. It's pretty crazy. 13, we took Thunderstrike just because it's fun. There are other options we could have taken at 13, but this one just does 300% extra damage if we are only hitting one target with our W. So here was the idea again, where if we exchange with the Cho'Gall, we're dealing a ton of extra damage to him with that. Now, when multiple people got into our W, it doesn't matter, we're still getting the benefit from the other stuff. So it's still slowing their attack speeds, and it's still slowing them, so we're missing out on 300% damage, but it's not that big of a deal. At 16, we went with Stone Form. I love this talent. Basically, we activate this, we get 50% of our maximum health over 8 seconds. This will disable Second Wind during that 60-second cooldown. So you will not have that, so plan accordingly. But there was one moment in time, the reason I died is because I didn't activate this soon enough, but this is a massive amount of healing. Absolutely massive. Now, 20 talents. We never actually went over these, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these real quick. Level 20 talents. There are 3 options you can go with. Rewind is always great. I would only recommend this though if you're ahead or if you really need that extra CC. 60-second cooldown resets the cooldown on all of your basic abilities. So you need to put 2 W's out there, 2 Thunderclaps, there you go. You really need to get that extra jump out there, there you go. You need to stun, you need more stuns, you can take this. Hardened Shield is also very cool because this gives you 75% reduced damage for 4 seconds. So if you're fighting a really, really bursty enemy team, team comp, where they throw everything at you and that's all they have then, there's nothing else, they run out of steam, this is the talent for you. 75% of that is going to get soaked up for 4 seconds against very bursty teams. The all-around solid pick, though, is going to be the Unstoppable Force. You're going to increase the duration of Avatar by 30%, and the duration of all disables are going to be reduced by 75%. So if somebody else is trying to stun you or slow you, that's going to the duration that's reduced by 75%. So basically, this just adds on to the tankiness of the Avatar. Not only are you getting extra health, it's going to last longer, which means more stuns from your auto attacks, and you're not going to be able to be slowed or rooted or stunned nearly as long. So you can stick in there, you can continue to peel. Now, Muradin has a very unique role in the game. He has a ton of different builds that you can go with. It all depends on the enemy's composition and what your team needs. He can fill a bruiser role, building up with his Q, his Stormbolt. He can go with a very CC-oriented role, or a disruption role with his Thunderclap. He can also go with a siege style, building up his Q and then taking the structural damage and the mercenary damage one later on. That is also an option. But like I said, Muradin has a ton of builds. He's a ton of fun to play. I think he is probably my favorite warrior in the entire game. Don't get me wrong, I like some of the other ones, but I think Muradin he has everything that I look for in a warrior character. He's got so many builds, and he can just fill any role that's needed for that team comp. You got an extra warrior, he can do something else. You know, you have somebody who wants to tank, you play Muradin, and you know, you can deal damage. Now, obviously, he doesn't fill the damage role, but if you're playing a double warrior comp, he can fit in there very, very well. But yeah, big fan of Muradin. If you have not played him yet, he is extremely cheap, 2,000 gold. Highly recommend you pick him up. He should be one of the first buys if you really enjoy the warriors. Definitely try him out, and definitely pick him up. Only 2K. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will catch you all later.